Good morning, ladies, gents, boys and girls. Right, behind me here, about there, is exactly where a new barn is going to go. So, obviously, if you haven't seen the video before, where we changed the planning for the workshop, which is over there, that lovely barn there. After we submitted that application and that got approved, I decided I was going to be brave and submit another planning application for a new barn right in the centre of the yard, like bang on in the centre. And that got, well, I say approved, it didn't really get approved because it was already a permitted development, but it got allowed, it got basically no prior permission needed, so I can just build it. So I'll show you where it's going to go now. So this, obviously, silage stack, it's quite a big silage stack all the way down, right through the centre of the yard. Now I did this for two reasons. I've never put silage here before, but I had this idea in my head that there was going to be a barn there. So what I did was put a big old silage stack in the middle, right where I was going to put the barn, Exhibit A, to see if it was plausible and whether it would actually work, because of course you're taking out a big central chunk of the yard. Didn't know if it was going to work, so I thought I'll block it off as if there's a barn there, see if it works.
Oh, he's intelligent enough as humans go.
Luckily, it's actually worked not too bad, and it's not too far in the way. You know, you can get around it all sides. The barn is going to be slightly bigger than the bales by quite a bit, but it should work fine, I've discovered. So what I'll do is we're going to walk around and I'll show you what each side of the barn is going to look like. So we'll go back to where I was a second ago. Right, so this is our current hay barn. So this, actually, just to say, this barn is hay and machinery barn, not for animals, just hay and machinery. So obviously we've got cow barn over there, hay barn here, the industrial unit there, and plus my workshop. So I don't know which facing it is, you'll see on the diagram I'm about to show you. So this side, Exhibit A on the screen now, is what this side will look like. I know the hand-drawn plans, which I submitted to the council, so that's what I submitted to the council. Hand-drawn. So it's going to be, this side's going to be Yorkshire boarded all the way up. It's going to be 3.5 metres to the ridge, 4.5 metres to the ridge, 3.5 metres to the eaves. And it's going to have a 1.5 metre concrete panels all the way around, other than the facing that's open. So that is this side of the barn, and it's mirrored the other end, so the other end's exactly the same. I will show you what the back of the barn's going to look like. So this is obviously facing the industrial unit, which I rent out. So Exhibit A, this side, Exhibit B on screen now, is what this side will look like. So this side's just going to be tin sheets all the way down the back. Same concrete panels along the bottom, but it's not going to be Yorkshire boarded, like I say, tin sheets, so it's fully closed off, and it separates the farm from the industrial unit slightly, which will be a lot better, I think, to have the two kind of half separate, because then we can concrete the industrial part, because that's obviously not concrete, needs to be concrete, so it separates the two halves. And the reason I've not Yorkshire boarded the back is if it ever gets changed into an animal barn, not saying it will, but if it does in 5 years' time, they're still in there and I want to use the straw blower, I don't want to blow it all straight through the back, through the gaps in the Yorkshire boarding, straight to their bit. So that's why that makes sense. Now the sides, the cows are here, cow barn there. This side, Exhibit, what are we on? Exhibit C. So this side, it's fully open, just obviously 15-foot bays, but fully open sided, rather than being closed in, which I think would be better. And obviously be able to access everything from that side, rather than it all being fully closed in with doors and gates and everything else. I thought I'd leave some of it open. Just realised how dark it is. Let me go find some light somewhere. Well, that's a bit better. You can see me now. Let me try and just plonk this up somewhere. Don't know how well this is going to work. No, it ain't going to work. Right, so anyway, as you would have seen from all the exhibits and various planning things I submitted, that's what I'm planning to put in the middle. Now, the catch to all of this is that I'm going to build it completely myself. Some of you are going to think I'm bloody crazy. Me included, probably. But essentially, I've priced it up, so you can obviously buy a barn, exhibit whatever on the screen now of a prefab barn that you can just buy and build, which is great, but they're about £7,000, £8,000, which is quite a chunk of money. So instead, I have priced up all the steel needed for the barn, and worked out that actually it's going to be about £3,500–4,000 worth of steel, which is obviously a considerable amount, you know, nearly half in the price of it. So even if you said it's, by the time you've welded it, even if you said it was £5,000, you've still saved the money for the roof, essentially. So it's quite a chunk of money to save, hence why I'm doing it. Now, like I said, a lot of people are going to think I'm completely crazy, and I probably agree. However, you've got to do what you've got to do to save a bit of money, and that is what I'm going to do. So, as long as it all works okay, it'll be fine. I have got structural surveys for the steel to make sure that it's the correct size, big enough and strong enough to take what it needs to take, and it is. I'm just waiting for some CAD drawings and cutting plans to make my life a little bit easier when it comes to cutting the steel, or getting it possibly, I'm going to possibly get it pre-cut to the correct 22.5 degree angles for the roofs, for the roof rafters, and then the stanchions just cut and I'll just drill them out myself, I think. So it's going to be obviously the same, this barn here, I don't know how well you can see that, so you've obviously got the rafter that goes up. I'm going to do pretty much copy this barn, which was put up 21 years ago. So the most recent barn that was put up here, actually. Pretty much copy that and just weld mine together and see what happens. For those that are wondering about insurance purposes, because it's not going to be CE marked, I think it's CE marked, it's fine, it's not a problem. We don't employ people, so it's fine to weld it up yourself, basically. It's no different to putting up a pole barn, but stronger, really. I have also, there'd be some people concerned about welding it. I've got a big enough welder, apparently. It was a question I asked, and it is of an appropriate size, so that's fine. So this is going to be, I don't know when I'm going to get it done, really, because I haven't really got the money sat there, but I've got 5 years to do it, but I want it to be within the year, hopefully. So I've just got to obviously wait until the cows finish eating the bales to then be able to lay it out groundworks wise, and figure out, I can actually show you roughly what I'm following groundworks wise. It's not going to be a concrete floor to start with, but it will be eventually, hopefully. Go back out of here. Right, so essentially, it's going to go dead in line with that building that's already there. I'll zoom in if I can. But basically, there's the driveway. I want it parallel to that building, but in the centre there, which should work quite well. Like I said, tried it with the bales and it works, so we're just going to do it and hope for the best. It's going to get a bit tight if we want an Arctic lorry or anything in here, but I don't that often have an Arctic lorry in here, so I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. So it's going to be a bit of a series of welding the barn up and then building it, because I'm going to do it all myself. Call it DIY spec if you want, just to save cost and make my life a bit better. Right, I'm conscious of the fact it's dark, but I just wanted to say, if anybody's got any suggestions on building this thing and the best way to weld it all together, because I know some of you will have done this yourself, please let me know in the comments, because I'm not worried about it. I don't get worried about these sort of things, but some help would be appreciated if you've got any. Also, if any of you have got cutting lists for a barn that's this size, dimensions on the screen now, not so much the height doesn't matter, but in terms of the rafters, to get the angles correct, the lengths, including the plates at the end, if I put the dimensions on the screen here somewhere, if any of you have got a cutting list for them, please let me know, because I will have them rather than me spending out to pay someone to give me them. I could work them out myself, but I'm not great with maths. But yeah, so that's the plan. That is what is going to be a wintry, summery sort of job coming up. And something I'm really excited about, because like I say, the barn that's over there is 22 years old, and that's the newest barn we've had put up, that my dad put up. So it'd be quite nice to add my footprint to the farm and expand it even more than I already have. So hopefully it'll be quite good. But anyway, if you did enjoy and you want to watch me build a DIY barn myself, then hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment below with any suggestions, and hopefully it'll work out and it'll be all good. So I am in London Monday, as you're probably watching this, still be in London probably. Hopefully that's all good, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. So cheers, bye.